So we're just going to start in a comfortable seated position. Just settle in here. Hi, can you hear me? Right, so seated position, just hands on knees, however feels comfortable for you. You can stay seated, I'm just going to quickly check. Cool, thank you. So sometimes when you first start doing yoga, you just need a minute to settle yourself. So I will read all the comments after. It's quite far away, so I can't really see, but I will go back over them after, hopefully improve some videos. So hands on knees, just come into your breath. Just realising if you're on an inhale or an exhale. Just settling in here. You can start deepening the breaths. Maybe come to some Ujjayi breathing, where it's a slight constriction in the throat. You're breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose, but it's as if you're fogging up a mirror, so you've got that noise in the back of your throat. You can close your eyes here. Just feel your body starting to relax. Coming to the end of the day. If people are still joining, just take a comfortable seat on your mat and just start concentrating on your breath, your inhales and your exhales. Deepening the breath slightly. If you're on a yoga mat, that's great. If you're on the floor, that's good. If you're on a rug, just be careful and be mindful that the rug could move slightly while you're doing this. So maybe try and find something a little bit more grippier. I know this from experience. I was doing this earlier on my rug outside. And just remember, through this flow, if you're feeling any pain, please come out of the pose or release up slightly. Maybe rest in child's pose. You want to be able to feel a stretch, but you don't want to feel any pain. Try not to lock out any joints. Try and keep, if you feel like you're locking out, try and keep a slight bend in the elbows or the knees throughout some of these poses. I will be reminding you of this throughout. I've been studying the Bhagavad Gita, and a quote that keeps sticking out to me is, yoga is a journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Yoga is about being true to yourself, finding out about yourself. And that's why we're here today. So we're just going to start with a simple breathing exercise called Breath of Joy. So just bring your hands to chest, and we're going to interlace the fingers. And on an inhale, we're going to keep the hands where they are, but raise the elbows. On an exhale, we're going to push away, round in the back, tucking the chin in slightly. On an inhale, raise the arms in line with your ears, and bend your elbows slightly here. Exhale, releasing the arms, clasping your hands behind you. Just move so you can see me. Inhale, looking up slightly, opening the chest. And exhale, hands to prayer. So just going to go through that again. So inhale, elbows up. Exhale, push away. Inhale, raise the arms in line with the ears. Exhale, release. Inhale, clasp the arms, roll the shoulders back, looking up slightly. Exhale, hands to chest. Just do that one again. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, push away, round the back. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, releasing the hands, clasp behind. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, hands to chest. I'm just going to do a few side stretches here. So right hand comes to the floor, left hand's going to come up over on an inhale, sweep up, bending your elbow, leaning over to the right side here. Just take a couple breaths here. You can look up slightly if that's okay on your neck. If not, just keep looking straight ahead. Again, depending on your body, you can be higher or lower. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, over to the left side. Again, looking up or straight ahead. Should feel a lovely stretch all down the side body here. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. So I'm going to inhale, left arm up, right arm comes behind you. Your left hand is going to sit on your right knee. You're just going to give a slight twist over to the right side. So I'm not yanking on my knee, I'm just putting a little bit of pressure there. So on every inhale, you're going to lengthen. Exhale, just see if you can twist a little bit more. Just show you what my back arm is doing there. So inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, twist. So I've just got a slight bend in my elbow on the fingertips. And then inhale, arms up. Exhale, over to the left. Keeping the shoulders down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release. I'm just going to come over onto all fours. So just rolling over, shoulders over wrists, fingers spread nice and wide. Hopefully you can see me properly here. Hips over the knees, feet are flat into a tabletop position. So we're just going to do a few cat-cows here. So on an inhale, you are going to push the chest forward and look up ever so slightly, round in the back. On an exhale, push the floor away, arch in the back, chin tucked in. Inhale, come through between the shoulders, shoulder blades down. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, arching the spine up. So just a few rounds of this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I'm just going to tuck the toes. The hands are going to come out slightly more in front. And we're just going to lift our knees off of the floor. Keeping the length in your spine. You're going to push back into downward facing dog. So here, first down dog of the day, we want to bend the knees. So you're not putting too much pressure in there. It's going to be quite a lot of pressure on the back of your calves if this is your first down dog. If you cannot lengthen your spine, if you're rounded like this, bend your knees. Keep your knees bent. It's much better to be like this than rounded. So I normally, in my first down dog of the day, I usually like to keep my knees bent. You can keep bicycling the legs here. And then bending the knees, look forward, and you're just going to step to the top of your mat. And then we're going to very slowly start to roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, rolling the shoulders back as you get to the top. Hopefully you can still all see and hear me okay. So into Tadasana now, mountain pose. We're stood at the top of our mats. We're going to ground down through all four corners of the feet, lifting your toes off the mat, spreading your toes as wide as you can. Try and place them down, your little toe, then the next toe, then the next, until you get to your big toe. So you're spreading your toes as wide as you can. And a slight micro bend in the knees there, make sure you don't lock out. Tailbone tucks under, lengthening the spine, stomach pulls in, roll the shoulders back. So your head, your pelvis and your feet are stacked in one nice straight line. And just breathe. And on the next inhale, we're just going to sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold it forward over your legs, bending the knees. And we're going to plant the right leg back to the back of your mat, so you're in a lunge. You can drop the knee or have it high, whichever's easiest for you. In fact, I'm going to drop the knee on this first one. Looking up, lengthening the spine, hands flat to the floor, left leg comes back to meet the right, so you're on your knees, hands are slightly out in front, and then we're just going to lower down, lower with the chest first, and then we're going to come into a cobra. So lowering with the chest, coming through into a cobra, probably best to stay at a baby cobra. Tuck in the toes, push back into down dog. If you can't do what I've just done there, sorry, you can go onto your knees into like a tabletop and then back into down dog. And then looking forward, come onto the fingertips of your right hand, right leg, sorry, comes all the way through to the front of your mat. Dropping the knee again if you like, lengthening the spine, and then left leg meets the right at the top of your mat in a forward fold. On an inhale, sweep the arms up, exhale, hands to chest. So we're just going to repeat that on the other side now. I'll probably go through it a little bit quicker as I was just explaining there what we have to do. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, bending the knees. Left leg comes back this time. You can stay in a high lunge or a low lunge. Plant the hands. Other foot comes back. Here you can go into a plank or still put the knees on the floor. Lowering the chest. If you are in a plank, lower your knees now. Lower the chest. Come into a cobra. So when you're in a cobra here, your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your legs are still on the floor. Tucking the toes back into downward facing dog. Come onto the fingertips of your left hand. Left leg comes forward. High or low lunge again here. Knee over ankle. And then bringing your right foot to meet the left at the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands to chest. So now I'm just going to go through that a little bit quicker. So, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, right leg comes back. Knee down or up. Plant the hands. Left leg goes back. Lower the knees, lower the chest. Coming into cobra. Tuck the toes. Back to downward facing dog. Fingertips of the right hand. Right leg comes forward. High or low lunge. Left leg comes forward to meet the right. Forward bend. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hands to prayer. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, left leg comes back. Plant the hands, right leg comes back to meet the left. Lower the knees, lower the chest, into a cobra, tuck the toes, into downward facing dog. If you need to rest here at any time, please go into child's pose. Fingertips of the left hand, left leg comes forward, lengthening the spine. Right leg comes up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up, hands to prayer. So if you do have any injuries here, I'm not sure if she's in the group at the minute, but I know somebody broke their foot last year. So if you are doing this, please be very, very careful. If anything's hurting, stop. Okay, so from here, we're just going to sweep the arms up on an inhale. Exhale, fold forward. This time when we inhale, I'm going to lengthen the spine. Fingertips on shins or thighs. Exhale, fold forward. Plant the hands. Step back into a plank. And if you want here, so I'm just going to shuffle down so I don't hit the mirror. You can lower the knees and lower the chest again, or you can push your weight forward, come down into chaturanga, elbows in line with your wrists, coming all the way to the floor, lifting up. You can stay in cobra, or you can ground down through your toes and lift your thighs and pelvis off the floor as well into up dog. If you're in this position, you can roll over your toes. If not, just step back into downward facing dog. From here, we're just going to bring the left leg forward, in between the hands. The right leg is going to come flat, kind of at a 45-degree angle. Heels in line, looking forward. We're just going to raise the arms into our warrior one. So when you're in this position, knee over ankle, you're going to be grounding down through the back of that right foot. If you're feeling a bit wobbly, you can move your feet further apart. Your hips facing the top of your mat. So pelvis facing forward. Lifting the arms up in line with your ears. If this is too difficult, you can always keep your hands down. Lifting your arms up. You're going to tuck in your core, lengthen down through the spine. Nice deep breaths here. And then we're just going to hands down to hips. We're just going to come to the long side of the mat. Feet are parallel. Just going to take a nice, roll the shoulders back. Inhale here. And then leaning forward. Coming all the way down into your wide-legged forward bend. Just as far as you can go, making sure you're not locking out the knees, maybe micro-bending your knees if you need to. And then hands to hips. And then inhale, come up to standing. And we're just going to do warrior one on the other side. So we're going to face the back of our mats. Your right leg is facing the back. Just position your feet so that your heels are in line again. Your back foot is on a 45-degree angle. Knee over ankle on the front leg. Grounded down through your little toe side of the back leg. Hips facing the front leg. Bringing the arms up. Dropping the shoulders down. Core tucked in. Tailbone lengthening. Should feel even pressure through both legs. And breathing deeply here. And hands to hips. Just turn your feet again so you're facing the long side of the mat. Just adjust as you need to. Hands to hips. And folding forward. Keeping that spine nice and straight as you're doing this. Lengthening forward. Hands can touch the floor if you can. If not, you can keep them on your hips. If they are on your hips, try to point your elbows up to the ceiling. And on an inhale, come up. And just come to the front of your mat. Just standing back into Tadasana pose. Grounded down through the feet. Everything stacked in line. Core in. Spine lengthening. On an inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to flat back, lengthening the spine. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands. Come back into a plank, or your knees can be down. Coming forward, lowering down into cobra or up dog. Rolling back into a downward facing dog. Again, you can keep bicycling your legs in this position. Or if you're feeling warmed up enough, you can try to push back and lengthen the legs. So you're looking at your knees in this position. Your feet should be hip width apart, your hands should be shoulder width apart. And then coming down onto your knees. I'm just going to shuffle forward slightly. Bring your knees together, feet apart. You're just going to sit in between your feet. If you can't do this, if you're struggling, put both legs out in front of you. So you don't want to be sat on your feet, you want to be sat comfortably in between. And if you are in this position, or if your legs are out straight, you can still do this. So just slowly come back onto the elbows. Just taking a breath here. And if this feels comfortable, you can come all the way back onto your back. Hopefully you can still see me. Arms up ahead. And just taking a few deep breaths here. You'll probably be able to feel this one on your thighs. Any pain in this pose, then please come up back onto your elbows or into seated. Some nice deep breaths here. And lowering the arms, come back up onto the elbows. And then back into seated. Just rocking forward onto your hands. So you move your legs to the side and come into a seated position. So from here, we are going to bring the left leg down and under, foot comes around. The right leg comes over, so your knees will be stacked. If you can't stack your knees, just sit in an easy cross-legged position. So your bum should be on the floor. You can move your bum cheeks out the way so that you can get there. Your feet are either side of you. And on an inhale, I'm going to sweep the arms up. Exhale, one arm comes down and try to clasp, grab your hands. And just pull ever so slightly there, opening the chest. Taking some deep breaths. So if you're sat in a cross-legged position, you can still do this with your arms. If you can't reach your arms, grab your t-shirt. If I just show you. So you can grab your t-shirt, or even just put your hands flat. Or if you have a belt, you can grab your belt. So we're just going to switch to the other side now. So releasing the arms, releasing the legs. Right leg comes under. Left leg comes over. Again, just stacking them knees. Move your bum cheeks out the way. Feet come next to you. On an inhale, bring the arms up. And then do the opposite arm arms to what you had just a minute ago. So if you had the right arm up, now you have your left arm up. And just grabbing to wherever you can. Just opening that chest. If this feels comfortable for you and it doesn't feel like much of a stretch, keeping your spine lengthened, you can slowly start to lean forward. I feel this one quite a lot, so I'm not going to do that. Listen to your body. Your body tells you what you need. And releasing that, we're just going to open the legs up, and we're just going to do a wide-legged seated fold. So open your legs to as far as you can. And what you want to do here is lengthen the spine, and then slowly start to lean forward as far as you can. And this pose I'm definitely not flexible in, so if you can get lower, get lower. If you can't even feel like you can move forward without rolling your spine or bending your spine, put your hands behind and let them. As long as you're feeling a stretch. Toes are flexed. You can lean forward slightly if your back's lengthened. Some nice deep breathing. And then on the next inhale, come up. Using your hands, pull your legs together. Just shake them out a little bit if you need to. And we're going to come into bridge pose. So just rolling down onto your back. Might keep getting up so that you can hear me. So I normally put your feet are flat on the ground. I normally make sure that my fingertips are just slightly touching my ankles. But if they need to be out further or in further, do whatever's comfortable for you. So we're just going to point your hands up to the ceiling. So you can use your elbows, and on the next inhale, you're just going to lift your pelvis off the floor. So you're lifting up, you can tuck your shoulder blades under, have a little wiggle. Just holding this position, using your elbows to keep yourself up. If you feel comfortable here, you can clasp your hands, pull to the front of your mat or to your feet, so you can lift up a little bit more. And on an exhale, release, slowly coming down. Hands on belly, one hand on chest, feet together, knees apart. Just taking a breather here. Sometimes that pose doesn't seem like much, but there's quite a lot of pressure on the back. And we're just going to do that one again. So feet flat on the floor. Again, you can hands point to ceiling or clasp underneath. I like to point my hands to the ceiling first to get me up. So on your inhale, bringing the pelvis up and then clasping underneath, rolling the shoulder blades down, pushing through the feet, trying to keep your gaze upwards. And then releasing the hands, slowly coming back to your back. Just going to hug the knees in. And we are going to lengthen the legs out, and we're just going to roll onto our bellies. So I'm just going to face this side so you can see what I'm doing with my arms. I'm going to roll onto our bellies. Arms come out to the side. You still see me? Arms come out to the side. So keeping your left arm down, we're going to bring up the right foot, and then we're going to, sorry, your head can be flat on the floor. I'm just doing this so that you can still hear me. Bringing your right knee up, twist it over to the left, keeping your left arm on the floor so you can feel a nice stretch in your shoulder. Your right arm can be a little bit closer in so you can just push away on the floor slightly. Keeping your left leg lengthened. You should feel a nice stretch in your shoulder here. If this is too much, again, just come out of it. Just lay on your belly and rest for a minute. And then coming back onto your belly, right arm comes out. Left leg comes up, opens up, reaches to the other side of your body. Feeling a nice stretch on your shoulder there, on your right shoulder. And coming back to laying on your belly. So I've got my little notes here. So we're going to come into a baby cobra. So hands underneath the shoulders, toes grounding into the floor. So when you ground into the floor with your toes, you should feel your knees automatically lift up off of the floor. Ground down through your pelvis. Normally, after doing that, so grounding through your toes, your knees lift up, you ground through your pelvis, your chest automatically pops up a little bit too. So leaving your chest up, just going to hover the hands there, looking straight ahead. So a few breaths here. Grounded down through the toes. And release. Just resting your head on your arms. Use your arms as a pillow. Just take a breather. Take a breather here. I'm just going to double check messages and that you can also hear me. No, this is not meant to hurt, Kat. If anything hurts, don't do it. Don't do it, or loosen up a bit. So obviously you want to feel a little bit of a stretch. You don't want to feel a pain. If you feel it's a nice stretch and it's kind of aching a little bit, that's good. That's good. You want to feel that tension drifting away. So that's energy. Energy is blocked. You want to get rid of that blockage. If it's pain, no, come out of it. So now we're just going to come into a locust with cactus arms. So again, grounding down through the toes, knees are lifting slightly, grounding down through the pelvis, arms into cactus position, so coming out at a right angle, lifting your chest and your arms off the floor, looking straight ahead, deep breathing, or shall I say make sure you're breathing. Keep grounding down through the toes, through the pelvis. Feel the core engaged. And just releasing back onto your arms. Use your arms as a pillow, maybe looking the other side. And just relax. We are going to come to a nice Shavasana at the end of this, so stick it out. There's a nice relaxing part coming. And then coming back up, we're going to come into a full locust. So again, grounding down through the toes, knees automatically lift up off the floor, grounding down through your pelvis, your chest comes up, arms are going to come up to the side, so they're off the floor, and then you're going to raise your feet. Again, looking forward. So you're just grounding down through your pelvis this time. Deep breaths. Maybe on every inhale you raise a little bit higher. Exhale, just release slightly. And relaxing. Just letting everything relax. You're tensing your whole body then. Just relax everything. So now we're just going to bring the hands out slightly in front and to the sides. We're going to come up onto the fingertips. So your feet are grounded again. And we're just going to do some cobra rolls. So we're just going to, on an inhale, lower the head, roll the chest up, Then start to look up. On the exhale, lower back down. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhale up. Exhale down. So a few more of these. Just loosening the spine after all that hard work. And then from here, I'm just going to push back up onto the knees, opening the knees. We're just going to put toes together and come into child's pose. So for child's pose, feet together, knees apart, leaning forward, chest can come down to the floor. Mine isn't touching, by the way, I just mean leading through. Hands out in front, head resting on the floor, and relaxing the arms. If this feels too much, you can always do the other child's pose, which is knees together, leaning forward, so you're rounding the back in this one, arms by the side of your body. Maybe try both of them and see which one feels better for you. I always find this one just feels so much better for my back. So just relaxing here. Just staying in that position. Sorry, I'm coming up so you can hear me. Stay down. Just relaxing, coming back to your breath. And then coming back up, we're just going to roll the legs out to the side and then bring them in front of you. And we're just going to tuck the right leg in, so the right foot comes against the left thigh. Just move back so you can see me. And then we're going to inhale our arms up. We're going to make sure that we are facing the left leg. So the leg that's stretched out, make sure that you turn so you're facing over it. And then on an exhale, we're going to fold forward. So again, we want to keep the length in the spine. Try and think chest to thigh rather than head to thigh. We don't want to be doing this. We want to be lengthening and folding forward. If you can reach your toes, reach your toes. If not, reach your shins, even your thighs. As long as you are keeping as much length as you can in your back. And you're feeling a stretch. There's no point sitting in this position and not feeling anything. Make sure you can feel it. Try and push yourself forward a little bit more. You can always use a strap as well over your feet if you have one handy. I was trying to do this with no props, as I know a few of you are new to yoga. So again, sorry if I'm going too quick as well. It's my first one. Just let me know in the comments. And coming back up, just going to do the same on the other side. So your right leg comes out, your left leg comes in, left foot to right thigh. And then inhale, bring your arms up, looking over the straight leg. On an exhale, folding forward, keeping the length in your spine. Keeping your foot flexed. Just stay in that position. Just going to check the comments again. I'm glad you can do it. We're coming up to a nice bit. So keeping the length in your spine. You see so many people doing this to try and reach your toes. But just remember the quote that I said at the beginning of this. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. This is about you. It's not about what other people can do. Some people practice their whole life and can never do the splits, fold forward. Everybody's body is different. And coming back up, both legs out in front this time. Arms up on an inhale, exhale, folding forward. Again, keeping the length in your spine if you need to in this one, which I normally do. As my yoga teacher said, I've got long legs. Bend your knees up and lean forward that way. As long as you can feel the stretch there. So coming forward. And coming back up. And we're just going to roll back down on your mat. So normally shuffle your bum forward a little bit, rolling down, and just rolling your knees one way and then the other, just releasing that spine. So again, you're not keeping your knees in tight while you're doing this, you're keeping them out, you're keeping them away from you. So push your hands out and then start rolling. That is where you're going to feel the benefit of this. And then if you can, we're going to come into happy baby pose. Which I know a lot of us have got kids, so this should be fun. So feet up, grab the outside of your feet. So your elbows are coming in on the inside of your legs. Feet are flexed against the ceiling. And we're just going to pull down, try to keep the lower back on the floor. I'm just going to try and pull the knees into the elbows a little bit. And if you can here, you can rock gently side to side. If you're feeling any pain in this pose, come out. Just come right out. You can rock side to side, smile, you're a happy baby. The action of smiling always makes you feel happier, so smile. Something I need to practice. And then bringing the feet flat to the floor. We're just going to do a back twist now. So you want to lengthen one leg. So I'm going to say lengthen the left leg. The right knee comes up. You're going to pull the right knee. Sorry, your head's flat. I'm just doing this again so you can hear me. Right knee over the left. Keeping your right arm to the side and looking over your right. So your knee is falling to the left, you're looking to the right. So you should feel a nice little stretch in the spine here. My knee isn't touching the floor, by the way. I've just got my hand on there. Just a little bit of pressure. I'm not pulling it, just a little bit of pressure. I'm just relaxing into this pose. And every exhale, feel yourself relaxing a little bit more. Maybe slowing down the breathing. And coming back up. So lengthen up both of your legs. And left leg comes in. Pulling the left knee over to the right side. Left arm comes out, you're looking over to the left. Again, feeling a stretch in the spine. If this is too much, just bring your leg up. Just do as little of a twist as you can. Remember, this is your practice. You might get a couple of clicks. So remember that energy releasing. And coming back to centre, just going to hug both knees in, give yourself a tight squeeze. And then again, just doing a few circles, rolling your knees one way and then the other. Then we're just going to release the feet to the floor. Legs come out long. Let your feet flop open. Arms to the side of your body, palms faced up, closing the eyes. We're just going to relax here in this position. So staying on your back, eyes closed. Just going to relax the body, relaxing the muscles, relaxing your mind. So we're just going to do a body scan. So staying in Shavasana, laying down, eyes closed. Just relax the toes. Relax the ankles. Relax the legs. Relax the bum. Relax the core, the chest and shoulders, the arms, the fingers, the neck, the jaw, softening the eyes, softening the forehead, relaxing here in Shavasana. If you feel like you need to do another body scan, please do so. Trying to relax here, letting go, feeling the weight of your body into the floor. And just remembering our quote from the start of this practice: yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. Remembering this is your practice. It's far better to live your own path imperfectly than to live another's perfectly. There is only one you. Relax. Focus in on yourself. Just do another body scan. Check in with how you feel. Making sure you're in a natural breath. And then slowly start to wriggle your toes and your fingers. You can stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. If you want to stay there, please stay there. And stretching overhead, lengthening through your toes, rolling onto your side. Just take a minute to breathe here. Coming up to a seated position. Hands on the knees. If your eyes are closed, just slowly blink them open. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're still in Shavasana, stay there. If you've come out, bring your arms up in an inhale. Exhale, hands to chest. Namaste. Thank you. Look forward to reading all the comments. I hope that was okay. Hopefully if it was, we will be doing a lot more. So let me know how you got on. Thank you.